Donald Trump's presidency is similar to Monterey Park City Council. Both distort power. Trump does not follow the Constitution. He manipulates the check and balance system. He picked 2 Supreme Court justices so he can run his agenda, and he intimidates the people and Republicans in Congress. In Monterey Park, Hans Leon, Stephen Lamb, and Peter Chan, these 3 city councilmen have voted together to form a bloc. Everything must go to these 3. It's very simple. We have 5 city councilmen. It takes 3 votes to win. It doesn't matter what information or opinions the other 2 city councilmen or speakers say. The 3 always win, even if it is not for the best interests of the citizens of Monterey Park. On any agenda item, especially big issues, Hans Liang, Stephen Lamb, and Peter Chan do whatever they like. These 3 can just say na na ni na na to the citizens of Monterey Park and to everybody and do whatever they want on any item. This makes them corrupt. This is how it's supposed to be done. Each individual city council person researches each individual agenda item, and then they vote what's best for the citizens and the residents of Monterey Park. They vote independently. It's been like this for a while. When Frank Venti was mayor and city councilman, he worked hard to bring national franchises to Monterey Park. He succeeded in making the Monterey Park marketplace a reality with a Costco, a Home Depot, Guitar Center, In-N-Out, and Chick-fil-A. I want to make this clear. I don't want to see you guys' faces on this marketplace advertising when you run for city council. And Hans Leon, when you think you're going to run for state assembly, we're going to make sure that for sure doesn't go through. Hans Leon, you're a loser. 3 different city councilmen with the same 3 agenda, forming a bloc. Stop Frank, fought Frank every step of the way. There is a power that manipulates and controls these 3 puppets. Trump, make America great. Hans Leon, Stephen Lamb, and Peter Chow say how great Monterey Park is. They probably even bring that that magazine and shows the ranking of Monterey Park. They're all talk. I made Marquepo High School great. I got a Hamburg Unified School Board to vote to make Marquepo High School just for Monterey Park residents. I had the principal at that time retire and had the superintendent replace him with Fred Navarro, a UCLA EDD with very progressive educational ideas. He fired teachers and he motivated change in the existing teachers. I improved academics, music programs, sports, and service organizations. I started the Marquepo High School Alliance. I helped pass a school bond to remodel the physical campus. I sat on the committee to make a needs assessment for that campus, then fixed all those needs, a new science building, computer lab, and gym. I sat on the oversight, and I still sit on this oversight committee for over 10 years. Right now, we have $250 million to fix up our Hamburg Unified Schools, making sure that your taxpayer money is spent correctly, according to the bond. I made Marquepo great. Therefore, I made Monterey Park's future great. Trump is a liar. The corrupt 3, I'm going to refer to you 3 as the corrupt 3 from now. The corrupt 3 are liars. Worse, they believe their lies. They think they're independent and they think they're for the citizens. And I see that, Stephen, you brought your little group of people. But you don't represent that little group. You represent all of us. At the last city council meeting, you addressed the 130 South Chandler property that was up for vote. It's an empty lot between Garvey and Newmark mixed with single-family homes and apartments. A developer wants to build a 4-level, 3-story so-called senior housing development. When I was on the Planning Commission, we rejected it, and we told the developer what we wanted. He returned with the same basic plans. I guess the developer played the city of Monterey Park because he just waited for the next set of planning commissioners, resubmitted it, and it got passed. What's worse, the corrupt 3 voted to approve this project. And let me tell you, this project's a scam. I sat on the commission. Bottom line, if you live in a R2 or R3 zoning area, a developer could put a 3-story apartment right next to your house. Then our corrupt 3 will approve it. And you deserve it because you didn't come up here and speak against it. I graduated from Garfield High School in East LA in 1971. I was a Chicano studies minor, anti-Vietnam activist, started an ecology club way back then in high school. It's time for Mexicanos, Latinos, Chicanos. They need representatives in Monterey Park. They need representatives in the Monterey Park City Council. My advice to Latinos and the young residents, especially you young people who just bought houses in Monterey Park, run for City Council. Let's get rid of these 3 corrupt city councilmen and start this new redistricting with young, new ideas for the city of Monterey Park. I wonder, is Monterey Park City Council more like Alhambra city government with an auto road, Costco, Main Street plan, or like the Montebello city government with arrested elected officials? I think we're more like Montebello. Go tell your friends and family, let's make Monterey Park government for all the people again. Thank you very much.
Tiffany San Juan, who's actually yielding time to Paul Izuzaki.
Recall, recall, recall. What's the problem? Why do we need to recall the corrupt 3? And let me remind you who the corrupt 3 is. Peter Chan, Hans Leong, and Stephen Lam. Today, the City Council will vote on the Chandler project, a 4-level, 3-story senior housing project. What's wrong with this development? Number 1, would you like to live in a single-story house just north, and remember, just north of a 3-story building? Your house will never see the sun. And that's what you 3 are voting for. That the person bought up property, has a single-story house, and you're going to live at this 3-story house right next to it. They will never see the sun. Very bad feng shui. And that's true. That's a factor in feng shui. Parking. Parking is 1 space per unit. By the way, this property is on Chandler, just south of Garvey. So all the businesses in Garvey that don't have enough parking, they all park on Chandler. Already have a parking problem. So if you come and visit them with 1 parking space for the person who lives there, they're going to park in the streets, adding to the parking problem. So they don't, listen, they really don't care about the citizens of Monterey Park. They care about the developer. Senior housing project. I'm 65 years old. I know I look younger than that, as you can tell. Is a senior 55, 60, 65? I can tell you right now, as a senior that's 65, no 65-year-old wants to spend $500,000 on a condo. Not at our age. We'll be 95 years old when we pay it off. We want low rent as a senior. So we're missing the point again. 3 discounted condos, trying to make it like, we're good guys. To who? To the developers, families, and friends? I was on the Planning Commission when this was brought up, and we told him that this was a very poor plan, and he needed to make these corrections. The developer came back with minimum corrections, so the project was denied. The developer didn't seem too upset. The reason, the developer just came back when the new planning commission came. And the new planning commission passed it. And Delario's sitting right here, and I think he's the head of the planning commission, and he passed it. But of course, he's the corrupt three's boy. So this boy listens to them. The reason why this is happening is simple. Stephen Lamb, one of the corrupt three, took campaign money from the developer. Hey, it's all right to take money from the developer, but look at the issue. But instead, he backs a bad issue because they gave him money. And they will approve these corruptee will approve your project if you give them money. The next person, Hans Leon. You know, the neighborhood and community living above Legacy 1. And you probably don't know where Legacy 1 is. Everyone knows where the Costco in Monterey Park is. So if you take that street straight up and to Portero Grande, then you'll see a commercial building. And if you take that street up, I think it's Saturn, there's a neighborhood right next to that industrial park. They wanted to put in Legacy 1 a helicopter port. And I went by the project. The helicopter would have to fly right over their backyards to land. Unbelievable. If you go look at the project, right over their backyards. And these three wanted to approve it. The corrupt three supported this project. And they even fought with the residents. I really didn't know why they would do this. But then they showed me a picture of the One Legacy administrator, I don't know his name, Judy Chu, and Hans Leon together in a picture. Just telling you where their money was going to.